here on Kiwi.
Spida Hunter from ehpfitness.com. He knows a bit about fitness.
Oh, a thing or two. Spida Hunter, personal trainer, ehpfitness.com, joining us from the gym today. G'day there, Spida.
Morning, Wammo.
How's your fitness week been?
My fitness has been pretty good, thank you kindly. It's been pretty busy.
Are you
School
finding
holidays?
You're finding because you're a very early riser generally, even earlier than I am. Sometimes you're up at around 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Daylight savings, that always mucks you about.
Yeah, I think maybe that's why some of my little wee blinking fatigue is setting in a bit earlier.
Yeah.
Stuffed me up a bit actually. I transitioned really well, but I was saying last night I was being just so wrecked during the week. So yeah, I've managed better than what did we put the clocks forward or back?
I think we went forward, didn't we?
Forward.
Spring
Yeah, I
forward.
struggle going forward. Going backwards, all right.
Yeah, that's easy. That's easy.
Going forward is, oh man, it is to me. And I've taken away my sunlight at first thing in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. We normally had a bit of sunlight for a couple of weeks.
Yeah. No, well, that'll come back.
Yeah.
Hey, today we're talking about the battle of the genders, the difference between men and women when it comes to fitness.
Yes. My goodness, is there a difference?
Well, is there? That's a good question.
Yeah, that's a magic question there. No, basically, we'll discuss the training different genders and exercise maybe to suit if there are any differences. But the reality is, if I'm seeing people, they will ask me, in particular females ask me, what specific exercises do I need? And we tend to have a belief that we have different, turn up to the gym and there's different things to do for females and there's different things to do for males.
Yeah.
But that's not true at all. Not at all, mate.
No?
It's just rubbish.
Really?
Real rubbish.
Come on, there needs to be different routines, surely.
No,
Oh.
The human body is a human body. There's just some anatomical differences.
Yeah. You think?
Other than that, it's just a human body. So no, we do train. I train them pretty much the same. If anything, I try and overemphasize weights with females more.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Now,
that's a mindset shift for the females to get their head round.
Now, explain that one again. I know we have gone over training weights for females, but I think it's worth sort of mentioning again your thoughts on that particular issue.
Basically, if you do some form of resistance training, you'll yield more results quicker because muscle burns more fat.
Mm-hmm.
It's an active living tissue where fat is not. So some people say, yeah, but I do lots of running. Running, you'll burn calories from the point you start to the point you finish.
Right.
So if I started exercising at 6 in the morning and I finished running at 7 o'clock, I'll burn calories in that time. With weights, the clients that left this morning will be burning calories tomorrow because we did some weights, which adds the muscles in rebuilding phase. And for that to happen, calories are burnt, which is fuel, which is fat.
Which is fuel and which is fat?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can be.
Yeah. You're saying fat is fuel, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Take it from that. Okay. All right. Well, so you're saying when you have two clients come in, male and female, you wouldn't treat them any differently at all.
What I do differently, and this probably is the biggest thing that I do different towards a male and female, is my communication is different to a male versus a female. But the exercise selection is pretty similar, depending on the person's posture and strength and weaknesses and muscle imbalances and all that sort of stuff. Obviously, there'll be exercises geared towards that. But as a female, I don't look at a female and go, well, this is the best exercise for you because you're a female.
Right.
Or, and this is the best exercise for you because you're a male. If they have an objective, then there's a certain regime that they need to follow to get there, regardless of gender. And how I communicate that across to the genders is different, way different, in fact.
Okay, so and how would you explain it differently between the two?
So, for example, men generally, and of course I'm talking in a general sense, men in general aren't so detail-orientated. If you look at it, we're very simple creatures. We go out, get things, bring it back. The detail is prepared from the female if you're looking at it from, back in the caveman days.
Yeah.
Female are more detail-orientated, so therefore they'll ask questions, but what about brown bread instead of white bread. Where if I say to a male, no more bread, they'll go, okay.
Right. So what you're saying males are more likely to accept things?
They are in the short term, and then they're quicker to fall off the bandwagon. You know what it's like with an attention span of a male, mate. It's not very long. We're not very, attentive.
Yeah, and our multitasking abilities as well.
Yes, it's shocking on multitasking. So my explanation of things to genders is a lot different.
Okay.
Yeah, because I have to speak to a male in broad spectrums, because if I talk too much in details, left foot, right foot, they just get lost and bored. Where a female loves that sort of detail. So they'll buy into the system a lot more if I give them step 1, left foot, and then you turn your right foot 90 degrees that way and your left foot 45 degrees that way. They love it. Where a male is just like, what do you mean?
But does that mean women are more likely to get caught up in those details?
Yeah, more often than not they do. And so that's a requirement of the coach to explain it in a way that they can give them enough detail, but therefore they have to follow through with the detail that they get, because that is the downside. Well, there's always downsides to the male, because they just go, okay, and they go away and do what they think is right, and then you come back, no, not quite what I meant, and then you break it down a bit more, one more thing that you give them. Where a female, you give them 10 things, and they'll go away and come back with 10 questions about those 10 things.
Right, because last week we were talking about too much information, weren't we?
Yes, we was.
Yeah.
So that's where sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming. How many glasses of water should I have? Should I have 8 or 9? I read in a Woman's Weekly that 9 is better.
Yeah. Of course, it was the Woman's Weekly.
Could have been New Idea, actually. Could have been a Cosmo.
Any more on that you want to let us know about?
I think it's important to understand for females and males that the exercises that give the biggest return are the ones that you're more than likely not doing, and regardless of gender, they're really, really good for you. Okay.
Good-o.
Here's that.
All right, I think we can sum that up. But anyone wants to have you up about that, say that no, indeed there are particular differences that you haven't mentioned, then they can hit you up on Twitter, twitter.com/SpiderHunter, or at your blog at ehpfitness.com. Hey, cheers, Spider.
Oh, my pleasure, Wammo. Thank you.
Next week, same time, eh?
Oh,